Hi Virgo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is going to be your general mini cross reading for July 2021. I've already done some meditation and shuffling on your sign. We're using the Radiant White deck, clarifying with the Levita Sibila, who have doubled in size. I think it's all the humidity in the air, but look how thick the deck has gotten. And you will get an opportunity to formulate two questions. One question to the Psychic Oracle Tarot, and the other question to the Marseille Sibilas. Okay, so let me turn this around. I had recorded almost all of the videos, and I started to edit them yesterday, and none of them had sound. So it is what it is. All right, here we go. One more rifle, and then we will pull cards to see what may be coming for July 2021. What the energy is going to be like. I can't believe we're already moving into July. This is crazy because that means at the end of the year it's going to be here very, very soon. We're moving actually into 2022. It's crazy. So, where are we? King of Swords. What is the foundation? The Two of Pentacles. Wow. What is the energy of the near and distant past? The Seven of Swords. What is the unknown factor? The Page of Wands. So now I have two court cards, two swords, a wand, and a pentacle. What is the energy of the near or distant future? The Judgment. Wow. And what is over the entire reading? The Six of Swords. Well, this is interesting. Oh my. Some of you may be dealing with a very, very stern individual indeed. At least someone who's extremely standoffish. And very difficult to read. This individual may be an air sign, maybe a Gemini, a Libra, and or an Aquarius. If not an air sign, then the person could be a soldier, a police officer, could be a doctor, a dentist, a surgeon, a chef, even a writer or a scientist, somewhere where either sharp tools are used to get the job done, okay, or where keen intellect is needed. This Seven of Swords, what I get down here is we get this idea that, I get the sense that this guy wants to do something. I don't know if this is aimed at you. Okay, like he wants to do something to you. Because we have these Two of Pentacles here. Twos are always choices, options, a duality, an opposition, whether you are opposed, this person is opposed within themselves about doing something that is a pentacle. This could be also two financial choices, although it doesn't feel like a financial situation, because the overall energy is this idea of moving away, of a separation, of leaving something or someone behind, right? But the page speaks to about a new journey, about going on something new and something exciting, a new, perhaps even a spiritual journey. This doesn't read to me like it's a new romance coming into your life. Simply from the energy of this guy in the center does not mean that maybe you might not be interested in someone who may fall into that category. But the energy coming off of this King, and the thing about the King of Swords is When he is in his most positive energy, he's really somebody you'd like on your side because they're thoughtful, they're logical, they can be objective, they can be clear, just straight to the point, no fluff, no filler, okay? But what I'm picking up is this, it's very rare that I have the kings stare me in the face, and this guy's staring me in the face, but his look is, I'm not saying it's necessarily one of, it is one of steely determination. Let me put it that way, okay? And I think that what I'm picking up is that whatever this situation is, he's trying to decide what he should do or what he should not do and how to go forward. Now, what does the Seven of Swords mean? The Seven of Swords can mean anything. Traditionally, just off the top of the head, most people say it's about slander, lies, deception, fraud, thievery, those kinds of things. But sometimes it can also be the idea that your plans are not going as you want them to. It's a moment of questioning. It's a seven of self-questioning and perhaps self-doubt. It could also be this idea of, what's the word? It's not coming to me. So just give me a second. Let me read to you these meanings. And then maybe I can see if I can't look at this card and I can't look at him because in effect they kind of represent people traditionally. But for me, pages always bring news. They do. And I don't know if maybe this is news about a kid. Okay, I have a kid here and there's one in the boat. I don't know. And this can sometimes represent a child as well. Someone under the age of at least 18. Okay? So let me just see here what these, if the cards have anything to say, really, about, I don't think there's anything next to the Judgment. Let me take a look and see. No, and I don't have any repeater numbers, except I have 2 2s here. The Judgment is the number 20, but in the numerology, we break that down to a 2. Okay? So, again, there's this idea of choices, options, dualities. 2 2s can represent the idea of a relationship or some kind of partnership. Okay? Usually this card will tell of upset plans, postponements, delays, and cancellations. It can also imply stealth around someone who attempts to outsmart destiny and evade the consequences of their wrongdoings. But it also tells of the possibility of tension, arguments, disagreements, and misunderstandings within a current situation. Here's where the spying thing comes in, or stalking. It can imply that someone is spying or delving into issues that are not their business. It can indicate that dealings may be dishonest or not straightforward and direct. So be particularly aware of all proceedings and remain cautious. Doesn't say anything next to this card. Let me move to the 2 of Pentacles here to see if there's anything it can tell me. Suggests that situations in your life could develop either positively or negatively. So you will need to juggle your affairs to keep the balance. If you are able to keep your affairs well balanced, this may be a positive time for you and could bring you many rewards. It can suggest that if you thought you lost something, it will be returned or miraculously turn up once you have settled your energies. But it can also infer that you have too much going on at the moment and may be finding it difficult to concentrate and make discerning decisions and choices. So for those of you who are not dealing with this individual, although it strongly feels like this is someone you're dealing with. This could be you, even though I'm saying this is the reading for Virgo. We are all able to embody the different types of energies or the archetypes of the court cards when they appear. So this would be somebody who's rational, you know, is careful in what they do, has thought it out, has made their plans, is sharp. Okay? So this could even be you. It tells of attempting to cope with two separate situations at once. It says to stop procrastinating and make a definite decision one way or the other. That's going to be what this is all about. Trying to keep something under wraps. It still doesn't tell me anything next to the Judgment or of the Seven of Swords. So I want to read something to you about this king. Can often be a man linked to position of authorities, be it civilian, paramilitary, or military. Powerful and strong-willed, and well-suited to a position of authority. Fiercely independent and does not like to be constrained or restrained in any way. He can sometimes be aggressive, moody, and bad-tempered if he feels he has not received what he deserves. Now, he is kind of feeling in a reverse manner. So it can represent somebody who's overbearing and stern, maybe warning of someone who may have a negative influence in your life at this time. Someone who can most likely be a mature male who at times can act cruelly and unjustly. In regards to legal matters, and he's feeling like a reverse energy, this may be cautioning you about your case or side, so check and recheck details, as there may be some mistrust or misinformation that could be detrimental. It can depict a man who is callous and malicious and who enjoys upsetting people. He is inclined to be strict and uncompromising and can be quite the bully, with a tendency to upset people without regard. He can also go out of his way to be manipulative and cause upset, someone who's on a power trip. Now, if you are involved with this man in this reverse energy, he is tyrannical in his behavior and has become detached from his emotions. He enjoys imposing his will regardless of others. Although he may appear calm and confident, he is very unhappy on the inside. He can be an unpleasant character who can be dangerous to know and is best avoided in all avenues of life. Although he is independent and intelligent, he can be cruel and explosive in nature. So, this is the energy over the whole reading. So, my question is, the 6 with the sword he's holding is a 7. And the 7 with the sword he's holding is 8. And that's the idea of being in one place and not being able to make a decision about what feeling trapped in a situation. So my question would be, who is he and what is his story? This is what he's either not wanting to hear about this 7 of Swords or deal with this 7 of Swords. Right? So if this is the idea that you've been doing some stuff that you shouldn't be doing with pertaining to this guy, I would not do it. It will not end up, it may not end up well. So, there's some other major news coming about this. And the reason why I say that, we see the page bringing it, but then it culminates to this angel with the horn. And this is the call to a very drastic change that's about to occur. Okay? this idea of this flag with this, to me, that's the international symbol of the hospital. So it may be that whatever the answer is, it's going to help you determine what you need to do. Judgment is about that, using your own judgment and not letting others sway you from whatever it is you're trying to do. So let's see what, oh, he shows up again. The King of Swords. See? P13. The Sacerdote. The Bambino. And the Falsità, which is like the Seven of Swords. There is something, because the Bambino represents this idea of things not having taken shape yet. Okay, future events to come. And we see this Falsità, these lies. Now, if this has to do with a kid, this could be the idea that someone is questioning whether or not, and it would be a male child, whether or not the baby is his. Okay, so let's see what the Seven of Swords has to say. And I'm just bringing that up because there's a child here and a child here, and this is representative of someone under the age of 18. You know, I do get the sense that maybe this guy is in the military or something. The reason why I say that is because that's like a military encampment. See those guys back there? That's their encampment. Pensiero. Thought. Conversazione. A conversation. Well, something that was supposed to be pleasant. And the Fortuna. The luckiest card, one of the luckiest cards in the deck. And Fortuna says that we have the Ace of Cups here. The Fortuna card says that regardless of what else is going on with anybody else or any other circumstances, in a sense, you're kind of protected. It's not blind destiny or blind luck. Okay? So let me... It's quite interesting. Whatever this is, it's very interesting. That's a Five of Wands. Yes. Basically, it says providence. Regardless of how a situation may look from the outside, and more often than not, it looks like blind luck, it is not. This card comes and has the power to annul any and all negative cards, even the more sinister ones in this spread. Well, I don't even quite know what to make of that. The Falsità, which is the Four of Coins, Four of Diamonds, falseness. It is a card of lies, false adulation, and compliments given with an ulterior motive. It represents someone close, often very close, and possibly a long-standing acquaintance or family member who is two-faced and plotting against you. The card represents murky and thorny situations woven with a tight web of lies and deceit without you often being aware of the true state of affairs, because the people are very skilled at knowing how to deceive you. But it can also represent someone who's taken advantage of your trust and good faith in them. It represents someone with false intentions. Now, interestingly, it says one of the very small meanings can represent an adopted child or even stepchildren, because the card indicates no blood ties with the people involved. It's very, very small, nuanced meaning. But it can also indicate something that is done or received in an illegal way. And sometimes it can just simply be that, and this is a very rare interpretation, that there is a mistaken conclusion that you have misjudged someone and you have not seen the situation for what it is. It still indicates, however, false motives towards someone. Now, in love, it indicates infidelity, lies, and a partner with ulterior motive, and it precludes the possibility of true love. It always warns that the situation is hiding a trap and that there is danger lurking in the background. And that's all it says. Well, that's interesting. I do get the sense that there is a decision or major change that is going to be coming up. Let me give you this judgment right quick. It is near the back of the deck. It's linked to the moon as well. Or is it? A time for reaping rewards for past actions, or a time for reaching conclusions and summing up situations. This card says that you are to rely on your own judgment. It will also highlight any injustices in your life and ask you to be inspired to work towards the future and accept that signs of material success may come later. It is time to sum up your life in action so you know where they are leading you. As you sow, so shall you reap. It is asking you to assess your life and lifestyle. It may be a positive appraisal, and there is acceptance of the past and a sense of satisfaction. The future can be faced without fear or trepidation. It will often indicate significant changes, new relationships, careers, homes or residences, renewal, and spiritual development. It states that there is no need for unwanted ties or bonds. It may also be implying that you could be called upon as a witness, maybe jury duty or a situation involving the police or courts. Lastly, it tells of the end of an era or phase in your life and the start of a new one. But you can only move on after you have taken a good look at the past and forgiven ourselves for mistakes made. This is not always an easy task. In reviewing your own journey, you must review your part in the various situations in which you have found yourself throughout your life. Now, I don't know what this means, and I'm hoping some of you, if you recognize the situation, I do get the sense that whatever these are, this new thing that hasn't taken shape yet, this new lie or deception, okay, it's almost as if whatever conversation or thought that you may have had, I think you may have kind of figured out that something is not quite right, and this may save you. If that's the determination that you've made, or if that's what your instinct, your judgment is telling you, then this is true, okay? Alright, here we go. It's another Two of Pentacles. Movement, choices, and decisions. Wow. Look at that. Okay. Now, one question for the Marseille Sabilas. So formulate your question. And we will see what advice the cards have to offer. Communications. Movement, choices, and decisions. It is the red border, the physical border. This card indicates a time of movement. Significant changes and choices must be made. With hard work, great effort, and determination, you have the ability you have the ability to juggle all of the demands in front of you. Whether they concern money, business decisions, or other projects, it is important to stay flexible and focused. You do not have to do it alone. Reach out for the best advice and assistance. In addition, a financial union or partnership may present itself to you. The more time you take to make these vital decisions and choices, the longer it will be before you can move forward toward your goals in the physical material world. The changes that are emerging are not some random acts of coincidences. They are all part of a positive and larger scheme. Notice the connections with everything, and this will enable you to avoid future problems and conflicts. That's interesting. Now, communications number 13. Have confidence in the future. Good news, encounters with foreigners, which will produce new activities, friendships, and love. Now look, I don't know about that. It's this card that gives me pause, the falsita. So if this is someone new that you've just met, again, trust your judgment. Okay. And that's what I have for you, Virgo, for July 2021. And until next time, be well and stay safe. Namaste.